Then we go back to Springer's team, and Guzzle is just completely enthralled with the fact that the guns or the ammo that Iron Fist has given them makes the Decepticons' heads explode. He's very happy about that. Then Springer tells Guzzle to bring down the house or, knock down the ceiling so they can buy themselves some time. And we find out that the final rule of the Wreckers is to always stick with the plan. And right as they say that, Springer's like, well, I give up. This isn't gonna work. So Springer sends Cup and Guzzle away, and him, Impactor, and Twin Twist are trying to find the prisoners. Impactor realizes that the prisoners are actually probably below them, and Twin Twist offers to, drill them down. Even though he's in a lot of pain. As he transforms into his drill mode, we see that Topspin is actually having the same pain as him. Interesting? I think so. And as this is going on in the pit, they have made a decision to just try their best to keep off Overlord, and Pyro has to protect Verity, so he puts him in his chest. And that's all that happens there. Though, as Twin Twist is drilling through the ground, he realizes that he was drilling right into thin air, because he's just drilling into an open area. But Springer turns into a helicopter and he catches him, which is good. But as these three get to the bottom, they find Kickoff, who we'll remember from earlier in the series, and Impactor mentions that when you fight through all the levels in Overlord's little game thing, at the end you have a decision. No one knows what it is, but they assume that Kickoff made the wrong one because he's kind of dead. But then Twin Twist realizes that they have set off some kind of defense mechanism and they're going to get vaporized. And this is where probably one of my favorite lines from the issues is, because Twin Twist says, "Helicopter us the hell out of here." I just find that funny. But before anyone can do anything, they get zapped. Oh no. Then we go back to the pit, and Overlord is beating the crap out of everyone, and he finds out that they have detected the movement of the other Wreckers. And he tells the Decepticons anyone who brings him the head of a Wrecker is able to go free. So then all the Decepticons are like, I want some of that! And right as they're about to move to Perceptor and his team, he shoots the extra fuel that they brought, which of course explodes. And apparently the sound it makes is brackadoom, which might be my new favorite sound effect. I like brackadoom a lot. I wish more explosions sounded like brackadoom. Yeah. And also, sorry, there's just a lot of little things about this issue that make me laugh. I really like how there's this epic shot of Overlord in the flames, and there's this one guy falling behind him on fire. That probably shouldn't be funny, but it is. As Perceptor's team is getting away, that's when Iron Fist has a major meltdown about the fact that he just saw Rotorstorm just get shot in the head, and Topspin really calls him out, and he's like, look, we voted for everyone else to be in here. You kind of just tagged along. People are gonna die. This isn't a game. And Iron Fist says, don't dare talk to me about death. Wonder what that's about. And then Perceptor says, we'll worry about this later. We can't afford to get personal. And as he's saying that, we go back to Guzzle and Cup. And for me, this is one of the most interesting parts of this issue. Because Cup and Guzzle are discussing, how it would be a waste to die while executing a rescue mission. And Guzzle says, a lot of good friends of mine were killed trying to do the same thing. And Cup's like, I hope the guy that they were trying to save was worth it. And Guzzle says, well, depends on who you ask. And in the little box down in the bottom, it says, see Spotlight Cup. That's very interesting. I like that tie-in a lot. Then we go back to Perceptor's group, where Pyro is asking Topspin about why he looked like he was in so much pain after Rotorstorm got shot for apparently no reason. And that's when we find out that Topspin and Twin Twist have a branched spark, which means that they have overlapping nervous systems and sometimes can feel each other's pain or see where each other is, which is cool. And it's kind of funny because you find out that Topspin actually just wanted to be a cartographer, but then since Twin Twist was running around, fighting people, he thought he should keep an eye on him. So that's why he joined the Wreckers. And then Pyro suddenly remembers, oh yeah, Verity is inside of me, and he lets her out. And he makes a mention, it's not my fault that you guys are so fragile. And Verity immediately, whips around and says, I'm fragile. Rotorstorm just got, shot in the head like it was no one's business. She asks, well, I'm sorry, were you guys, close or something? And Topspin says that he didn't really like Rotor Storm, but he was still a wrecker, and he was still part of their team. And then we find Fortress Maximus, and he's not looking awesome. And Perceptor explains that what the Decepticons have been trying to do is they're using Fortress Maximus to fish out different codes to open up the Equatus Chamber, and they haven't obviously gotten there yet, but Perceptor knows the codes, and they all see Equatus, which we don't see Equatus, they just see Equatus. And the last thing that happens in the issue before it ends is we see a kind of going back and forth between Topspin and Twin Twist perspective. That's when we find out that Twin Twist is being tortured by a bunch of Decepticons in the Spark Extraction Chamber, which now says Spark Extinction Chamber. We find out that the final one of Iron Fist's rules of being a wrecker is to never ever show any signs of weakness as Twin Twist starts screaming in pain. And that's the end of the issue. Dude, Wreckers is awesome. I really like this issue. I really can't say that I have a lot of problems with this at all. This issue does a really good job of starting to show kind of the inner problems that they're having with the Wreckers, especially like with Iron Fist and his idea of being a Wrecker becoming completely destroyed when he sees Rotor Storm get killed, and Topspin telling him, this isn't a game, you know. I am so interested to see what happens with Iron Fist. This issue also proves that with Rotor Storm's death, nothing is sacred. These guys are gonna die, so it'll be interesting to see what other ones will end up falling by the end of issue 5. Once again, the art and the coloring is awesome. And this time it's both Nick Roche and Guido Guidi doing the pencils. And usually when they split stuff up like that, it really bothers me because I'm like, these are two completely different styles. Like in Maximum Dinobots, it was terrible. But in this, it doesn't really bother me at all. It's interesting because I found out that one of the big ways you can determine who's drawing what, besides the fact that their drawing styles are kind of different, is that Guido Guidi uses the, like, template Autobot symbols. Nick Roche always draws them. I never realized that before. Thank you, Transformers Wiki. And that's really about it. It's a really good issue, but I feel like we're not really at the meat of it yet, so I'm sure issue 4 will be even better. It'll be awesome. And hopefully it won't take me as long to do my next review. It shouldn't, but I'm not gonna promise anything, because if I do, it automatically won't happen. I do have a couple other videos in mind. I did recently get some other toys that I'm very happy with, one of which being this. Makes me happy. Also, with a very, 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 very big and special thank you to Eros1 for getting this for me when I couldn't find her, I do now have RC. Thank you, Eros1. Thank you. She's awesome. I'll have to do a review of her. Oh no, a toy review for me. Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully the next review will be out soon. I love the Wreckers. I can't wait till it's out in trade so I can buy it again. But I will see you guys next time. Bye. Brockadoon.